Hello, all. Welcome to Diksha Classroom. In the last few days, we have been discussing various NTA net examination questions regarding communication topic as well as higher education and mathematical reasoning and some other topic. So today we are going to discuss the questions from UGC net examination which was happened in the last year in the months of October, November and September. And today we are going to discuss the questions from communication part. So let's move to the first question. So this one is the first question and we have to read the question at very fast. So the question is synchronous communication takes place through which of the following technologies? So we have given five kinds of technologies. First one video chat and second one virtual classrooms and third one audio conferencing and fourth one Wikipedia or wikis and fifth one electronic mail. So we have given five kinds of technologies and the question is synchronous communication takes place through which of the following technology. So here the term synchronous and it is related to communication. So we have to be identified or we have to be known very clearly what is synchronous and what is communication. Then only we can answer to this question. Or if you have known about this answer of this question, you can comment the answer below or you can type the answer below. And if you want more time to answer this question, you can pause the video and you can comment the answer. So let we discuss the term synchronous and communication. So we know that communication, we all know that it is nothing but exchanging ideas and information from one person to another person. It may be through verbal transformation or it may be in written form or it may be in non-verbal or it may be in sign symbol like etc. We can use to exchange the informations and the ideas from one person to another person. So we have known very thoroughly that communication means exchanging the information from one person to another person, and we have to know about the synchronous. What is synchronous or what do you mean by or how to define the term synchronous, then only we can understand what is synchronous communication. So the synchronous means nothing but working together at the same time. When we working together at the same time, it's called as synchronous. And it's what is synchronous communication means, we know that exchanging information and ideas from one person to another person at the same time. So it should be happening in real time. So there should be one receiver and there should be the giver and the receiver, or the sender and the receiver should be there. So we can understand that the synchronous communication means exchanging ideas and informations only can be at the real time or the same time. So then we have to come to the question. So we have to be understood very clearly what is synchronous communication. So the question is synchronous communication takes place through which of the following technology, and we have given four options. Apart from five kinds of technologies, we have given four options, and option a, B and C only. Option B, B, C and D only. Option C, C, D and E only. Option D, A, D, E only. So let's move to the answer. And we know that we have studied very clearly about synchronous communication. So we can say that synchronous communication takes place through video chat. Okay, video chat is a platform where synchronous communication takes place. And we also know that in virtual classrooms also takes place the synchronous communication, or synchronous communication takes place in virtual classrooms and as well as in the audio conferencing. Audio conferencing also helps to synchronous communication. So we have to be identified very clearly. Video chat and virtual classrooms and audio conferencing are takes place or helps to synchronous communication. We know that in video chat we can talk and we can see or we can watch together. And in virtual classroom also we can talk and we can listen, we can say, we can watch together from one person, and a person can watch the other person and a person can talk to other person in virtual classrooms. So it helps to synchronous communication, it facilitates synchronous communication. And audio conferencing, when we do the audio conferences we can talk together, so there is the exchange of information and ideas happening at the same time or at the real time. So we can say that these three are the video chat, virtual classrooms, and audio conferencing helps to synchronous communication, or we can say that synchronous communication takes place through the video chats and virtual classrooms and audio conferencing and phone call. Through phone call also the synchronous communication takes place. And we know that the wikis or the Wikipedia and the electronic mail, synchronous communication will not be takes place in wiki through wikis or through Wikipedias, and synchronous communication will not be takes place through electronic mail. So we can say that these medias are the we can say that video chats, virtual classrooms, audio conferencing, phone call, etc. are the parts of synchronous communication, and Wikipedia and wikis and electronic mail are parts of asynchronous communication, where synchronous communication does not takes place. It is called as asynchronous communication. Okay, fine. So we can move to the next question. I hope this question and the answer on the concept are I hope you have understood these concepts and informations regarding synchronous communication, and we can move to the next question. So the next question is, pure listening by the audience leads to, so it is regarding the poor listening. Pure listening by the audience leads to a, we have given four options. Option A, appreciating the speaker. Option B, wild imaginations. Option C, inaccurate inferences. And option D, disrespecting the speaker. So we have to be identified. We need to know very clearly pure listening by the audience leads to which among the four. Is it affected, or is it leads to appreciating the speaker, or is the pure listening leads to wild imaginations, or is it pure listening leads to inaccurate inferences, or is it pure listening leads to disrespecting the speaker? So we have to be identified this answer. So if you have the answer, you can comment the answer below. Let's move to the answer now. The answer is inaccurate inferences. So we know that. So for answering this question, we need to know about pure listening. So we don't want to explain more regarding pure listening. We all know that pure listening means when we do not pay the close attention to the speaker. When we do not pay the close attention to the speaker, or in the time of lack of concentration to the speaker, it's called as pure listening. These are the chances of creating poor listening. So these poor listening by the audience leads to inaccurate inferences. We know that when in the classroom, when the teacher takes classes, when we don't listen properly, we cannot achieve the target, or we cannot listen the words what the teacher saying. So in the conclusion or the after effects of the class or the teaching is we cannot get the proper information. So it leads to misunderstandings, and it leads to certain assumptions, and finally the answer will be inaccurate inferences, because we didn't listen the class very carefully. So it leads to certain assumptions, then finally we have reached certain inferences that obviously that inferences and the conclusions will be inaccurate, or it will be inaccurate inferences. So we know that the pure listening, the after effects of the pure listening is also a part of wild imaginations. When we didn't listen properly, it leads to wild imaginations, and it is a disrespecting the speaker. But these all things are leads to or finally reached to inaccurate inferences. So the answer is, so the most appropriate answer is inaccurate inferences. So let's move to the next question. So the question is, classroom communication is. We have discussed the classroom communication. So the classroom communication is, then we have given five things. First one, goal oriented, and B, style centric, and C, collaborative, and D, vertical, and E, non rhetorical. So among these five, the classroom communication is, and we have given four options, and we want to choose the correct answer from the options given below. Option A and B only. Option B, B and D only. Option C, A and C only. Option D, D and E only. So classroom communication is, so following five things are there. So the classroom, we need to be identified. The classroom communication is related to whether goal oriented, or whether it is related to style centric, or whether the classroom communication is related to collaborative, or the classroom communication has the feature of vertical and non rhetorical. So we need to be identified this. So let's move to the answer. So obviously we can know that classroom communication is goal oriented. There is no doubt regarding goal oriented. So classroom communication is goal oriented process, and we know that it is also a collaborative process. So there is no doubt, it is very simple question. Classroom communication is related to goal oriented, and classroom communication is collaborative. So, and we know that it is not a style centric, and it may be vertical and horizontal, but we cannot say that classroom communication is vertical, and it should not be non-rhetorical. It should be in rhetorical nature. So we know that classroom communication is goal-oriented in each and every classes, and the teacher and the academic system and programs should have goals. Other than the goals, we cannot achieve our target. There will be disruptions and misleading. So in order to achieve our targets, we should have goal. So the classroom communication should be goal oriented, and it should be collaborative. We know that there will be exchange of ideas and information from the part of students and the teachers. So so the classroom communication is a collaborative process where teacher and students both together exchange their ideas, feelings, and information. So we can say that classroom communication is a collaborative nature. I hope you have understood this one, and we can move to the next question. So the next question is, find out the correct chronological order of the following educational communication ventures in India. So here we have given four communication ventures, especially the educational communication ventures. So we have given four educational communication ventures. First one, Krishi Darshan, and second one, Gyan Darshan, and third one, Vyas, and fourth one, Gyanvani. So out of these four educational communication ventures, we have to be arranged these ventures in a chronological order. So we have to be, when we read the question, we have to be identified very clearly. The question is regarding the chronological order. So we have to be arranged these four educational communication ventures in order to the chronological order when they start, or when these communication ventures was set up. Like we have to be arranged these educational communication ventures in a chronological order. So for answering this question, we need to know that when the Krishi Darshan was established, or when the Gyan Darshan was set up, or when the Vyas was introduced, or when the Gyanvani was set up or started. We need to know that in which year Krishi Darshan started, or in which year Gyan Darshan has inaugurated on, or in which year Vyas has inaugurated, and in which year Gyanvani was inaugurated. Like we need to know the years of starting the Krishi Darshan, Gyan Darshan, Vyas, Gyanvani. Then only we can answer this question. Then only we can arrange these educational communication ventures in order to their chronologies. And we have given these options: option A B C D, and option B B C D A, and option C D A B C, and option D A B D C. So if you have the answer, you can comment the answer, or if you want more time to answer this question, you can pause the video and later you can type the answer. So we don't have more time, we can move to the answer. So the answer is A, B, D, C. So we have to know that first the chronological order of these following educational communications ventures are: the first one is Krishi Darshan, then Gyan Darshan, then Gyanvani, and the last one Vyas. These are the chronological order of the educational communication ventures. Maybe the next time they will be asked like in which year Krishi Darshan has started. Like questions we can expect from these educational communication ventures. So we need to be known that in which year Krishi Darshan started. So I can say that Krishi Darshan has started or has inaugurated in the year of 1967, and Gyan Darshan it's introduced by IGNOU in the year of 2000, and the Gyanvani has inaugurated in the year of 2001, and Vyas inaugurated in the year of 2004. Okay, so don't forget Krishi Darshan has started in the year of 1967, and Gyan Darshan has started in the year of 2000, and Gyanvani has introduced in the year of 2001, and Vyas has introduced in the year of, or Vyas has set up in the year of 2004. So when we know about these years, we can arrange very specifically and very simply. So very easily we can arrange. So we know that it is in when we talk about the chronological order, we can say that Krishi Darshan has started in 1967. So order is first. This one is A, and we know that before starting Gyanvani in 2001, Gyan Darshan has started in the year of 2000. So A, B. Then after 2000, in 2001, Gyanvani has started. So A, B, D, and last one Vyas has started in the year of 2004. So we can say that the chronological order of education for these educational ventures are A, B, D, C. I hope you have clearly understood this one, and we can move to the final question. So the question is CDMA stands for. So we have to be identified the full form of CDMA. So these kinds of questions regarding full forms and abbreviation we can expect more from the coming examinations. In the last examination, there were lots of questions regarding these full forms and abbreviations. So like we have to be known that CDMA stands for whether it is code division multiplexed access, or whether CDMA stands code division multiple access, or CDMA stands code division mobile access, or whether CDMA stands for code division mobile adapter. So out of these four things, or four statements, or four full forms, in which full form is related to CDMA, or CDMA stands for? It's very direct question. So we have to check the answer. So the answer is code division multiple access. So don't forget about CDMA. CDMA stands code division multiple access. It is a channel access method used by various radio communication technologies. So don't forget CDMA stands for code division multiple access, and it is a channel access method used by various radio communication technologies. So far we have been discussing these questions, and in coming days we will be discussing more questions. Thank you.